Yeah, I know. Man, is it beautiful. Hey guys, welcome back to part two. In this video, we're going to be going over some of the DIY stuff that I did. Things I didn't have to buy that I was able to do in shop here. This is going to be a little bit longer video than part one. If you haven't seen part one, please go back and check it out. It's all the purchase parts that I got for this, and it leads up to this part two of this video, okay? Why are you not focusing? Here we go. Okay, so things that I've done. Oh boy. First and foremost, the most common thing you read about people doing, I shaved the eyebrows. I left a little ridge in the middle and then shaved pathways all the way to the top of the piston. All right, I went into the bore. Don't worry, my ring's clear. They're not getting hung up. I measured it out before I started cutting. Okay, so let's just start with that. Number two, the ports. The ports. I'm gonna start with the exhaust because it's real simple. There's not a whole lot you need to do here, because Briggs leaves this part threaded in here. It's designed to run with a threaded exhaust, which closes the diameter of the port itself. Okay, so when you're doing like me and have a bolt-on flange, it leaves all this port open. All right, so you don't really have to mess with all that too much. The only thing I did was just radius the sealing a little bit, so it was a little bit more of a smoother path flow coming from after the combustion down out the exhaust. The intake is where you really want to focus all your time. The first thing you want to do is get all the rough castings out of there. I don't even have to even show you. I mean, if you looked in one, you see what I'm talking about. They're in both. So just go ahead and knock those down with the Dremel. And it's like I like to use the small and the big barrel sanders. Those seem to work the best for me. So that's what I use on my Dremel. I epoxied the back of the port, because if you look at the back of the port, it's square. Yeah, it's square. And so I just epoxied it and sanded it round and kind of tapered it upwards. You see my hand? Tapered the back of the port like this. And it goes up and it's real smooth back there. Now the valve seat itself, when it comes down inside the block, there's a lip under there. And that's not good for flow. You just got to think about it like if it was water. You had a flowing water and you tried to block it off with a 2x4. The water just tries to go up and over it, and it impedes the flow. So looking at this from a logical standpoint, which is how I do a lot of this stuff. I mean, logic. Think about the flow path. There are videos on YouTube actually where I think it's Warped Perception on YouTube. He made a plexiglass or acrylic cylinder head for a flathead Briggs, and if you go and watch those videos and you slow them down, you can actually see where the air charge goes and then where it exits. And so I studied that video for quite a while, and I tried to figure out how could I make what is obstructing this flow. And what I've come to realize is that the back of the port needs to be smooth. You need to get that lip out from the bottom part of the valve seat, and then all that leads up into the eyebrows, which when it flows on top of the cylinder, it should be the least obstructed path possible. Because the more air and fuel you can cram in per intake stroke, boom, the bigger the boom. And what's that mean? More power. All right. So that's what I did right there. Let's see, what else have I done? Oh, the valves. Oh man, what a mess this was. I thought I was totally screwed, but I don't like spending money if I don't have to. All right, okay, so little backstory. I bought some stainless steel valves for this thing, and I didn't realize that they were oversized valves. And I don't have the tools to cut the valve seats to accommodate bigger valves. But one thing I noticed was the stainless steel exhaust valve is the same diameter as the stock intake valve. So I knew that I'd be able to at least use one of the stainless steel valves. In this case, I used the stainless exhaust valve on the intake side. But the problem I was having is I was getting 20 thousandths lash right here. that ain't good, because the cam, as you can see right there, calls for 6,000 on exhaust, 6,000 for intake, and I'm getting 20,000s. So I'm like, what the heck is going on here? So I realized that the head on the stainless steel valve was a lot fatter. So what was happening was the valve was sitting too proud on top of the seat. So it was sitting up a lot higher, and it pulled almost a 20,000ths valve lash down here. So I was like, oh great. So me being me, I was like, man, how can I fix this? I don't have the tools to cut the seat, but I do have a way to modify the valve. Yes, I did it. I chucked my valve in my drill press and used a Dremel with a barrel sander on it, and I thinned that mug right out. Yeah, oh yeah, I thinned it out. And it brought the valve all the way down to where it was contacting the lifter, and then I was able to pull my 6,000ths lash because of that. So yeah, I mean, you know, is it the right way to do it? No. Is it the wrong way to do it? Probably. But did it work? Yeah, I know it worked, because when I lapped my valve and looked at the lap marks on the valve and on the seat, it looked like it was stock. Nice, you know, decently thick ring. There was no gaps anywhere. It was a 100% lash ring, or I'm talking not lash, but lap ring all the way around the valve and the seat. So I know it works. So then I got to thinking, well, maybe I could do that on the exhaust valve too. So I actually brought the exhaust valve down a little bit further, brought the sealing surface out closer to the edge of the valve. And then of course you're gonna have to grind the valves to get your 6,000ths lash right here. But these are just some of the trials and tribulations that I went through to get this motor to this point. I mean, it's done. I mean, as far as assembly, machining, stuff like that, there's nothing else I'm going to be doing to this motor. It's literally just assembly at this point. So when I get it 100% assembled, I'll make a part 3. Probably be very little talking, more just kind of just walking around the motor and just letting everybody take a look at it, because you know, I painted some more things that need to go on there too. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. You know, I appreciate y'all entertaining me and watching my videos, giving me thumbs up, and please feel free to comment. That helps my videos get seen by more people. Somebody might find this video helpful, because when I was doing this stuff, couldn't really find any good videos or people giving descriptions of what was going on. So this is what I'm trying to do for everybody. If you're into flatheads, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and stay tuned. And I got some more videos coming, folks, and y'all have a good one.